Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
It's 9:30 a.m. and I would like to call to order the meeting of the Governmental Affairs and Public Information Committee of Friday, January 26, 2024. Before we begin, please note that this meeting is being recorded. Welcome to my colleagues and everyone joining us here in person, as well as those listening on the phone. If you would like to provide public comment today for the meeting, and if you have not done so already, please let Thomas in the back of the room or Justine call it. Justine on the call-in line know. What items you would like to speak on today? Elizabeth, please begin to call the roll.
Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Eels, Senior Board Analyst, sitting in for Amaret Kawang. So
not here today.
She's right here.
We're sorry on that.
All right, so calling the roll. Director Dorsey, absent. Garbarino?
Here.
Hill?
Here.
Rabbit?
Here.
Rodoni?
Here.
Vice Chair Giudice?
Here.
Chair Snyder?
Present.
And President Cochran?
Here.
Okay, also in the room, we have Grosville, Hernandez, Maston, Carr, and Thier. So we have a quorum and we're a committee of the whole.
Okay, so we're a committee of the whole. All right, thank you. We'll begin with the agenda item number 3, which is to authorize execution of contract number 2023-D-101, State Legislative Advocacy Services with Platinum Advisors LLC. Kelly is here to present the report. Kelly, please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Snyder. I'm here to ask for the board's approval for a legislative advocacy consultant services for a 5-year term with 5 one-year additional options exercised at the general manager's discretion for a total not to exceed $764,000 to Platinum Advisors in Sacramento. As you all are well familiar with, because you see Bo coming here on occasion, or quite frequently actually, Platinum has been the district's current legislative advisors for the district on a variety of issues. They've come to us, talked to us about public transit, ferry transit, tolling, congestive tolling, funding, safety, procurement, things like that. We issued a RFP at the end of last year, went through our normal procurement process, and at the conclusion, we had one bidder, which was Platinum Advisor. So for that reason, we are recommending, as you know, that they've been quite successful. We're recommending that the board approve this 5-year plus 1 or 5 one-year term options to Platinum Advisor. And I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Kelly, for your presentation. Are there any questions or comments from the directors on item 3? Yeah. Director Roswell.
Thank you. Well, I'm a fan of Platinum also, but I'm just curious, how many entities did we send this RFP out to?
So it's funny you should say. I will grab my phone because that was the question I just asked and Justine was able to answer. She contacted procurement. So last year, Amaret told me that, or last 10 years ago, 7 people submitted bids. But this year, it went through the standard process and was sent to all public firms. However, only the incumbent submitted a proposal.
We presume that most people out there knew that we're happy with Platinum and didn't put a bid in, right?
I assume we can make that deduction.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So do we have anything, anybody from in the room?
We have
public comment?
no one in the room. However, we do have someone on the line. So Justine, would you like to introduce the first speaker?
Certainly. Our first speaker is David Pilpel. David, go ahead.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Great. David Pilpel, San Francisco. So I support the proposed 5-year contract with the 5 additional 1-year options, and I did note that the option years 6 through 10, if they're exercised, would be at the same $78,000 a year as year 5, or what was it, years 4 and 5. I think, I think Platinum has done a good job and continues to do a good job representing the district in Sacramento. I still encourage monitoring of Brown Act, Public Records Act, and other district-related district business-related bills as opposed to transportation or transit funding bills. And I recently became aware of an initiative statute that's in circulation or authorized for signature gathering proposed by Consumer Watchdog that would pretty significantly amend the Public Records Act. And I don't know that that's going to qualify or pass, but it would have pretty dramatic effects on public agencies statewide, and it might be worth taking a look at that sometime. There are some interesting and whatever ideas out there in terms of initiative measures, and that one caught my attention. But back to Platinum, again, I support the proposed 5-year contract, and thanks to staff for their work on promoting the RFP. And unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, Platinum was the only bidder, but again, I think they do good work. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Justine, are there any additional speakers?
We have no additional speakers on this item.
Okay, thank you. That concludes public comment.
Okay, I guess I would say, I would echo Director Grosbo's comments and our public commentator. I think, working in that space a little bit, Platinum Advisors is always, their analysis is, I almost have never disagreed with, but whatever political winds are blowing or whatever was going on in Sacramento, they're pretty dead on. They're very, one of the most esteemed advocacy services up there, and they do a lot of good work. And we've gotten a lot of bang for our buck out of them as far as return on investment and grants and whatnot. And we're working with them on trying to get more money for our retrofit. And they're already in the middle of that process and setting up meetings with us. So I think changing courses midstream is always a challenge, and I'm glad that I would support this motion. So if there is a motion. So I'll start again. Thank you, colleagues. May I have a motion on the agenda for number 3 to authorize execution of contract 20.
Second. I just wanted to add a comment, if I may.
Call it. Yeah, the director here.
Yes, I just wanted to say, I too have worked for many, many years with Platinum Advisors. I've been very, very impressed by their work, by the way that they have analyzed issues for this board, but also for other organizations that I've been involved with. And I just wanted to say that I will be strongly supporting this motion.
I did. We have Juche and Hill.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to ask that all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposition? Let the record show that there is no opposition and the motion passes. We will move on to item number 4 on the agenda, which is public comment. Elizabeth, is there anyone wishing to address the committee?
We have no one in the room. Justine, is there anyone on the line who wishes to make public comments?
We have no additional speakers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That concludes public comment.
Okay. Well, thank you. This is my first chair, so I was a little, today. But
Not very tough.
yeah, this one was an easy one. A quick agenda.
We'll expect all meetings to last less than 9 minutes.
Yeah. I'd make that for sure. Well, thanks. We have reached the end of the agenda, and I would make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Okay. Hearing no objections, this concludes the meeting of the Government Affairs and Public Information Committee, and the time is
9:40.
9:40. So